Saturday. So I'm going to try to give you guys an opportunity to come in. I'm not going to get into anything too specific on this particular stream. I guess this would be part two of my, you know, get out of the sweat box, is where I'm coming to you from. And you notice that I entitled, I'll tell you, the inspiration for the title on this is Shush, because there's a tune. There's a tune from back in the day. We'll go into that later. But I tried to do a stream the other day, and that stream ended up getting, it seems to be something that's happening to anybody that remains intellectual or a truth teller, so to speak. Hi, Zero the Infinite Renewed. How are you? It seems to be there's an auto silence algorithm that we're dealing with right now. And I've seen it, I've witnessed it on others YouTube streams. So right now they're pretty much like no holds barred. They're not trying to hide it anymore. They're, just blatantly, they are in real time censoring people. So I don't know if you're hearing this. If you can still hear me now, give me a, dare I say, a 5x5. Just to confirm that you're still with me at this point, because it's happening. And then also, this is just kind of I guess it's kind of an update or a PSA. I should call this a Shush PSA, because even Discord has issued a statement about the community and what they are going to allow, and how they don't want civic and physical well-beings, and they don't want these things, affected by misinformation. And but who are the arbiters of this is what I'm not quite clear on. Not quite clear on who's the arbiter of what. But I do know that this is getting to be, I don't want to operate under these conditions long term. I don't. So, we've kind of talked about it before. And I will say, I think I will probably close down Discord just based on their little PSA. I probably will. Thank you so much, Zero the Infinite. I really appreciate it. But I'm telling you, this thing is on fumes. Black Spring, I don't know how much longer I'm going to tolerate the amount of censorship, or if I'm going to be preparing, if I'm going to be programming. Okay, great. Thank you. I don't know if I'm going to be programming things or trying to get guests and trying to, put more content related to what we've dealt with on this channel, just based on what they're doing. I'm saying this particular channel that I'm referring to right now is one that, of course, is much larger than mine. And he has already gone off. He's already kind of gone off the grid and gone to his own, basically sponsoring his own website and his own streams. But he still comes over to YouTube, I think, to try to get that, to try to still bring people over. But I'm telling you, folks, it's not going to get any easier. If I'm not mistaken, is there a convoy on the way to DC right now? I don't really know. I don't know, but I'm saying, this auto silence. Hi, Miss Tilu. This auto silencing thing that they're doing, you cannot predict when it's going to happen, or even if it's going to resolve inside of your stream. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's truly an algorithm that's happening, but when it happened to me, and then I've witnessed it this morning on somebody else's, and of course, all the people in the chat started reacting to it and trying to give them a cue, hey, you have no sound. But I think those things are going to be happening even more. So what do you do? Yeah, what do you do? So I'm coming up with that. I would kind of like there's some things I kind of want to talk about. It's going to be in technology based. And I also talked about doing a series on a series on Instagram called What If? And that particular series will deal with just about anything that I don't discuss on this YouTube platform. But it's quite frustrating times, right? It's very frustrating what's going on. So yeah, I don't know I mean, and then when people, the thing about it is, it distracts from the viewers who are viewing and they're listening to your presentation, and all of a sudden, you have no sound. So that means you don't really even know where they got cut off. You don't know how to recover from an interruption like that if the sound comes back. And yeah, but I think that's another level, another form of censorship is what I think it is. And they might tell you, oh, we're sorry. If you complain about it, if you write in about it, I don't know if anybody has done that. I don't know if anybody else is viewing this has had any issues with that. But especially if you're live, you can be manipulated and controlled. But if I do a regular stream today, I will do it, and we'll talk about the technology and what's being projected by the elite. Of course, the We Forum is doing their thing. But you know what? The thing about the We Forum is not new. We Forum has been around for a while, and they have not been hiding anything. They've had all of their Schwab and all of his team of people. They've all worked together for years and put the data and their plans together for your life. So, these discoveries, and even him boasting about Trudeau's, lead, his millennial ship, I guess, lead in what's going on in the world. I'm not surprised, but nobody's going after these people. There's no SWAT team going in to get Schwab. Nobody's doing anything about anything. We're rooting on things. We're hoping on, these midterms. And all of a sudden, of course, did you guys watch the State of the Union address? I can't really stand to watch that guy. But from what I heard, it was a disaster. It was, yeah, pretty much a disaster. And he also talked about funding the police, which you guys know very well. On this particular channel, I showed you a video about him saying strategically that they needed to distance themselves from their defund the police, rhetoric, and because they got clobbered on that. So he had that meeting. That's already out there. Okay. And then for those that aren't paying attention, they have no idea what I'm talking about. It was the meeting that they had with the so-called black leaders sitting around that table, why he basically told them that there's a larger population of Hispanics, and blacks need to hitch their wagon to the Hispanics because their population was greater in terms of numbers than y'all. So yeah, he was very, to me, a very cantankerous tone. To me, he looked very, in that particular Zoom call or online call that he did with those so-called black leaders. They were on mute 99% of the time, with one or two of them dripping in, some platitudes or about him, working with him and his administration. And, they talked about that he said that his strategy needed to be changed to not defund the police. So I guess people don't realize that happened. They don't care about it either way. So that was that could be blown away right away. So yeah, and then he's talking about, when you look at that room, all these people wearing all these yellow and blue, and this stuff is it's just so fake. It feels fake. You don't see people wearing American flags and colors like that. You don't see that. You do not see that. So where we're going to wind up, I don't know. But I'm not going to put myself through these, through the theater that they do, even the State of the Union address. It's just more bloopers and gaffes and laughs, and it's not even a gaffe. It's just blatant lies at this point. So I don't know if I want to dissect any more of that, but we do have a long time to deal with this. Several months to come to deal with more of this. So I don't know what you guys think, but like I said, I'm not sure. If you guys can still hear me, please give me a 5x5, because like I said, I think it depends on what you're talking about, is when that silence algorithm comes through and just shuts you off. And then to recover, there's really no seamless way to recover from an auto silence. There's no way to say, oh, well, I left off here, or here's where the silence started. No, you don't get that. You don't get a warning or anything. Also, so I tell you what, Discord is going away. Discord will be going away. I will not take any business or take any, no. If they've already started that, they don't want you talking about anything. Was it climate change? That's going to be the other one. They might get me right now for that. Between the climate change, don't make fun of Fauci. Don't talk about mocktail efficacy. Don't talk about any of that. Don't question any of that. But they can talk about the effects of their lockdowns, and they can talk about, but they're not taking any blame for it. They're going to pretend like they care about the psychology of people, the mental, and about that. That was not them. That was my system. But yeah, so, it's been a while. And like I said, these games that they're playing right now, it's really getting tiresome. If we are powerless as a people to avert any of this disaster, if there was no sign that things are not getting any better, I just think they're suspending these masks, they're suspending all of this stuff for political reasons. It's not about your health. It's not about that. It's not about people getting up and challenging, principals or governors. It's not about you. It's really not. So I kind of want to talk about some technological stuff. I think Sophia might be back in the news on some level, but then there's some new technology out there, and I guess it's more in the vein of the transhumanism. I guess it's because once they start massaging you into, see, the cell phone to me, I guess, is a kind of link to where they want to go, but they're not. And Gates is out doing his thing. So I'll tell you specifically, if I decide to do that stream, I'll let you know today. If I do it, it'll be done today. I appreciate it, Zero the Infinite Renewed. And let me read your comments here. Thank you. He says, I think that this whole pandemic thing was another excuse to violate everyone's First Amendment rights under the guise of safety. Possibly, more than possibly. You're talking about Jim Crow. Yep. It's amazing the number of black people that defended him even after hearing him say that. Well, and there's people that, the TDS is still alive. I had a conversation with somebody that I know, and I consider a friend. I don't know. A friendly associate is what I should say. She actually started going on and on about Trump and somebody pissed on. Never before in history have we had anybody piss on the office of the president. And you wouldn't want to go to work the next day and your boss said, oh, I can grab women by the pee. And I'm like, you got to do better than that. Come on. Come on. Are you trolling right now? Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Just saying. I mean, you would be amazed at the amount of people that are still trying to sustain themselves, or they're still trying to sustain their TDS on that stuff. And whether you like Trump or not, whether you voted for him or not, whether you vote for him again, or whether you ever vote again, whatever it is, you got to realize at this point that this skit is bigger than Trump. And it's been And this stuff has been in the works for a long time. Now, wherever you think he is in this whole schema, wherever you think it is in this whole, to me, and this is a globalist. I think this is the globalist. They're getting closer to what they want. And I don't think it's over. I don't. Predictions are already being made. There's one that I want to share with you, but I kind of want to share it with you from the inside of the studio. I'm not in the studio right now, but yeah, I will share with you another prediction, and you'll probably guess who it's going to come from. You'll probably be able to guess that pretty quickly. But yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be keeping an eye on some of these alternative platforms to YouTube, because I think maybe they're corralling us all to walk us off a damn cliff. I don't know. Because if they start, doing the censorship on the alternatives, then that's going to push you where? That might push you back a little bit, back to YouTube. Or either you're going to push you off all together, and you'll start, you'll have to do something else. So I think I'm going to, just bring this down. I don't know what the truthers, was there a truth site? I'm not joining that. No more expansion on the sites that I'm willing to be a part of. No more. If anything, I will just come off and do something else entirely and just kind of run my own show. Thank you, Zero the Infinite. That keeps me in the know whether they're holding me, muzzling me or not. Zero the Infinite says the masses keep opening the door. Even people that wouldn't normally fall for it are falling for it. Well, you're right. So, it's strange things they're not strange things. They're not strange things that are happening, because we kind of saw a lot of this coming, but I think they're going to rev it up. Yeah. But anyway, let me just change the subject just really quickly. This is just I'm a little bit random on this one. You guys notice the gas prices kind of jumped 20 cents inside of the week? If I were to say, hey, everybody I don't care where you're from, just put where you're from, and what was the gas price like Wednesday, or what was it Tuesday, and what did the gas price finish out by Friday evening? By Friday evening, I think most people's gas prices were up by 20% increase at the pump by the end of the day on Friday, which was just yesterday. So let's see, Zero the Infinite says those groups are trapped to put you on more list. I heard about the prices going up. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? And I'm hearing that San Diego has hit $5 already, which I'm not surprised. I'm sure LA has already hit $5. I mean, 86 cents, It's all very, it's very, very close. You can spit at $5, as they as I was growing up, as they say, you can spit at $5, and it's already, when it's $4.86, $4.89, $4.90 something. It's $5. Thank you, please, and thank you. It is $5. Marcy T says, I saw $6.75 in California. Probably some of those little armpit towns. Hell yeah. $6, $7. And they know they can get it. They know they can price gouge people, because in some of those little small beach towns, dare I look up San Luis Obispo. In some of these small towns are smaller than, it's a beach town, but I don't think it's a college beach town, but it's not a small town. But there's some towns that are smaller than that. I'm going to pop on later, Marcy. It might be earlier than I thought, because I haven't been on in a while. So there's some, Gates is running his mouth again, and the masses are not listening. So there's a new prediction. He has a new prediction. But yeah, some of those armpit towns, or some of they're the ones that are kind of in between, tourist areas. Those are the particular towns that you might find that at prices like that. Yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere, between like a I don't know what, if you're going up maybe around Channel Island or something. I haven't been up there in a while, but if you go into some of those areas or near B&Bs, and you got next gas station 500 miles or, or 50 miles, you're going to get that $6.75 a gallon gas just to get you to the next point, to the next price point. You're going to do what you need to do to get you there. So yeah, but I think, yeah, the gas is certainly, and then of course, I think that, somebody said, oh, well, Biden said he's really. Okay, so let's just talk here. This is the thing. For everybody that wants to cry racism, they just want, you can't, you gotta stop gaslighting people with that. You gotta stop, because people were triggered by every bit. Economically, even if you didn't like Trump, you didn't vote for Trump, you hate Trump, you think he's evil, you think he's Beelzebub, whatever, you gotta admit he was still economically more sound than what you got right now. Okay? Let's just talk. See, that's why I wanted to start the series, What If? What if we can put things in a template based on criticism, constructive criticism, and not with the intent of final judgment on it, on some of these touchy, hot button issues, or just what if you did that? What if you did that? What if you put those items in that template? What if you did? And so yeah, that's kind of what I'm on about. I'm thinking I might go ahead and do this particular stream in probably about 20 minutes or something. It's still kind of early. I haven't been on in a while, but I will tell you, it's looking like Blog Talk might be a better option for us, I think, because I'm going to tell you the truth, and I appreciate every single one of my patrons, subscribers, and of course the viewers like you. Don't ever think that, this is not a reaction to you guys, but this auto silence that they're dropping on people is just, I'm not going to say that it's a coincidence. It's not, to me. It's a little too convenient, because right after I got out of the sweat box, okay, I got out of my sweat box, I came on, I was doing just a little chatty do to say, hi, I'm back. Next thing I know, I was censored. I was on auto silence. And so I cut it off. I deleted it. It's like, I'm not going to try to figure out where I was. This was just a random chat. It was just say, hey, I'm back, guys. I'm out of the sweat box, But they didn't really want to hear that. Yeah, I'm just so, like I said, it's very tiresome at this point. It is very, very tiresome. Marcy T's in the house. He says, so you tell me what it is. So you tell me what it is this about. Let's see. This is, meanwhile, in Russia, the most expensive gas is $1.94. This is why they want us looking at Ukraine and the male stripper. Oh, Papa. Please. Oh my God. I have not, you know what? I just don't, I have no idea. I just don't want to be, I don't want to, I'm just kind of tired of, I've done the covert speak, and I've done the code words, and I've done all of that. And a lot of people are just tired of it, if this is a defeat, if defeated on a huge level, and I think it's because people just want to remain, they want to remain in this matrix that a lever is going to get us out of this. I'm sorry, folks, it's not. If that's a Debbie Downer or negative Nancy for you, I don't know. You might need to get some therapy. But, excuse me. But I just don't see this ending like, I don't know. Do I have the answers? No, but we're losing, I think any type of technological invasion is a violation. People talk about mandates as if they're laws. It doesn't matter where you are. That's the way people have been discussing this whole thing. So I'm going to get out of here, and I may come back. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you've been censored, hello, Bohan Stefanovic. He says, Mars TT says, I'm too sick of it. Discord sending me stuff all day about watch. Are you kidding me? Excuse me. And no, this is not the coof. As a matter of fact, I would invite, I'm going to issue a backstage pass. Yeah, I just think that we're in a lot of trouble is what I think we are. And I don't know, an old man getting up in front of everybody, telling everybody it's going to be okay, and changing his position on anything. That's not it, folks. This is not it. And we're looking, the moment we started looking to big badass Canada for inspiration on suppression of our rights, of human rights, I didn't think I'd see the day that they're leading civil disobedience in this. Yeah, we're sending our troops to other borders, yet ours are wide open. I don't know. I just, this is not sustainable is what I say. So yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. And it is, there's gotta be another way. There's gotta be a better way, or a better way or nothing, I guess, is where we are. So I'm glad you guys came in, and get a little bit of sunshine over here. Sunshine is good, right? And Zero the Infinite says, I think they are trying to change any platform that people would gather to talk about anything one-on-one, one by one. I have no idea. Marcy T says, now they want $32 billion to send. But look at the power of our dollar, for crying out loud. Are you guys... What? I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm just... And I'm going to tell you something else. Let's just real talk here for a second. Before, I don't want to get off of here. I want to real talk for a second. Let me see. I'm going to do something really quickly here. Let me see if I can salvage some... I really do. These are my predictions. Because, when gas goes up... Is it off? Are you guys here? I'm sure. Okay. I tried to charge this thing in the car, and I got too many things hooked up to the to the to the car. Okay, perfect. I think things are going to get to the point in which the crime is going to go up, because people are going to be desperate here soon. If these shelves remain half-ass full, or a third full, and this gas keeps soaring, what do you think is going to happen this summer? In Atlanta, they're reporting people are already, kids between the hours of 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. are basically robbing people on scooters. Now, I don't know. I can't tell you the logical reason why a kid would be out between the hours of 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. But I don't think it's not a surprise, because last summer they were hijacking people's cars at the pump. What do you think people are going to do if these gas prices continue? Pretty soon, it's like, I'm quoting this from a movie, an old school movie called The Women of Brewster's Place. Now, I'm not a big fan of Oprah Winfrey's by any stretch. I'm not. That she's boule, okay? To me, she's more of that ilk. She's, I'm not really, not about that. But she used to talk about people, somebody was saying to her once, why don't you try to find a job, and let me, she was like, honey, what I got to work for? When people get that mentality, if people adopt that mentality, they're going to stop working. Because if people are contending with inflation, higher rent prices out of control, there is no rent control, rent cap, I think, nationwide right now. I had a class, somebody that I was in high school with, talk about, I don't like putting this whole single mom, stuff, single whatever out there. She was saying, how does a single mom afford, these prices for apartments? Well, if all we're going to do, if the middle class and those below, if all we're going to do is chase things that we cannot afford or struggle to keep up, and we still see that we're going down, what do you think people are going to do? Or you think they're going to keep working? Do you think they're going to still have a lot of people don't have, there'll be people that will give up. You will have people that will give up. And I tell you another thing they're not talking about. They might get me on this. Suicide is up as well, because these problems are not going away. The problems are not going away. They're being magnified. They are being magnified. If you're trying to keep up with rent, with the cost of gasoline, you're in a rough spot. It's not even vacation time, so to speak. It's barely spring. You're getting, what do they call it? Spring break. You're getting into spring break season. And that's usually when I think you could see some gas prices rise. Or you're not the summer vacation time where gas prices typically rise. So by the time you get to summer, who can afford, those who are already struggling, what are they going to be working for? If they're, short on their rent every month, or they're one paycheck away from not being able to sustain what they have, they're going to give up. And what are they going to do? Is that why they came up with these grants to shoot up? The Biden administration, commemorated Black History Month with get you out of your head with a crack, maybe a safe crack pipe will be prettier for you. You'll feel better with a crack pipe grant, a safer way to shoot up, a safer way to get high. New York did the same thing. They had shooting galleries. A couple of people overdosed in the grand opening. They know what they're doing. It's not really a black and white issue. Everybody's not making, I'm not making $1 million. I don't know a lot of people that do. But, they create these crises, and then here they come. Oh, now you're going to save the day. Oh, okay. This is what you're going to do about that. But never mind what you said 9 months ago. Okay. Never mind your contribution to that. So, yeah, it's just like, to me, you're being conditioned to, and I think these gas prices is going to be that whole CC, climate change initiative, and carbon footprint thing going on, where they want you to, basically, they're trying to push people into getting electric cars. And many of these politicians are very heavily invested in that. E.g. Pelosi, and she's, I really have no idea. These people get paid to make you think they give a damn about race. They do. Meanwhile, they're high-fiving and probably going out to lunch and whatever else when they're not on camera, or when they're not on the, in the middle of their little temple, or their little fortress in DC, pretending that they care about you. Just saying, I'm going down a bunch of rabbit holes here, and they don't pay for anything. They're not worried about their gas prices. You're going to pay for it. They're not worried about how they might get an electric car, because you're going to pay for it. They're not worried about it. They're not worried about it. Their job is to stay in power. Let me read a couple of comments here. Marcy T says, they're going to get us fighting somehow. And Paul Graves, how are you? Says the U.S. government pick and choose whom they want to help. I don't believe it's done out of compassion or mercy, but rather of a hidden agenda. Yeah, well, they're tanking us. Look at the dollar. You can't. I mean, and look, I went to the dollar store. Look, I shop at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree, the Dollar General. I've always been a dollar. I've always started at the dollar. My baseline has been at the dollar level. However, I noticed I went to the dollar store just to get some basic school, some office supplies. And those supplies were $1.25. So already your dollar is already a quarter. Your dollar's worth about 75 cents right now. And I might be wrong, but I'm gonna cast a wide net and say, yeah, your dollar's working at about the 3/4 level. It might even be a little bit under that right now for what you're able to get. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm on about. Sorry about the sun, guys. But but even, on a global scale, I dare you go try to exchange that dollar. Go try to exchange your dollar for something against the pound or the euro. Try that. See where it takes you. I mean, but honestly, I think the dollar has been it's been kind of floundering for a while, because even when I have traveled abroad and I try to go to currency exchanges, that's why people did get to the point where they don't even try to exchange their currency, because it's just been so bad. The value has been so low that the people, even at, like the guy I was in London, in London a while back, some years back, and I tried to get the guy. He was like, hey, this wasn't that long ago. I was for work, and the guy, I was like, hey, I want to exchange my remaining money for the dollar. And he was basically like,